Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. I wrote in a Patreon newsletter recently that the original plan for Final Trade was just to buy sealed boxes, hold them for at least 5 years, and then start selling them off on TCG Player and eBay. And of course, since then, I've taken a somewhat more complicated view towards what Final Trade should be doing long term. I've expanded the business way beyond that. I've done a lot of things that I never would have even dreamt of 4 years ago when I started the business. But what's interesting to me is even when I look back today, that original plan still would have worked. It still would have been a solid way to run a TCG investing business. Simply buying boxes, putting them in a closet, waiting 5+ years, and then starting to sell them. And it's really interesting because people will get wrapped around the axle about all these details of, exactly when they buy a box, or, someone will come into my comments and say, oh, I got that box $3 cheaper, like they're just dunking on me or something. And it's like, you don't have to do that. Like, this is a pretty easy hobby to succeed at. Very easy. We're coming off of several years of turmoil and then several years of recovery in the TCG market. And looking back at all of that, yeah, just buying some boxes and planning to hold them for at least 5 years and then starting to slowly sell them off still would have been an absolute winner of a plan. Now, obviously, you can do better if you do things like, register as a real business, which you absolutely should, so you don't pay sales tax on your inventory, so you can write off all kinds of expenses that are proper tax-deductible business expenses. And maybe you would decide to do like I did and turn this into a much more large and complicated business that could potentially become your sole job one day. And hopefully I get there. I see a path, but it's still down the road. But the original idea would have still worked. TCG investing is not difficult. You simply have to be patient. You simply have to buy great assets at a good price and then unemotionally hold them for the long term. That's all you have to do. It's a very, very simple business concept. And, you can make it more complicated. You can sell singles. I sell singles. And the singles market has been weak for about the last 15 months, the Magic singles market at least. But you can sell singles in order to generate more cash for your business. And that's a perfectly fine strategy, and some people want to do it. Some people don't want to do it, and that's fine too. Some people simply want to look at deals once a week on TCG Player and eBay, or watch my Friday sealed deals, make a couple of purchases per week, and do nothing else. And that's still an absolute winner of a business plan in the TCG investing world. You can do that and hold those boxes for 5+ years and then slowly start selling them off. And even after shipping fees and after selling fees, you'll still do pretty well. So, you don't have to make it as complicated as I've made Final Trade. You don't have to start a YouTube channel. You don't have to have a Patreon. You don't have to make deals with whales and other investors. You don't have to build a giant network and attempt to become a marketplace unto yourself in the center of it. You don't have to do any of that. The original plan of Final Trade to just hold boxes for several years works great because these are scarce collectibles that people destroy every day for fun. And if you are more patient than other people in the market, you will succeed. And it's pretty simple. So it's funny to me when I get comments from people about, oh, how much money people would have lost if they followed Final Trade. And, then I look at the actual data, and Pokemon's up 3, 4, 500% from where we were buying it. Magic's up 50, 100, 200, 300% from where we were buying it. And, it's not that hard. So you can decide how complicated you want your TCG investing business to be. And you can go all the way from the person who checks prices once a month, sometimes makes a big purchase of one product, throws it back in the closet, and that's it, all the way up to the level of complication I've taken Final Trade to. And even beyond that, there are some whales I work with who they have even more invested in this game, even more complex business operations, and they're doing way more than I am. So you decide how much you get involved, how much effort you put into it, but ultimately, even the scantest amount of effort, along with a large helping of patience, yields very good results in this type of business. So, man, it's been great, and I think it's going to keep being great long, long, long into the future. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.